Greetings and salutations, happy and blessed people. I am Doriel Davis, and welcome to Say It Louder, the podcast, episode 111. For my newbies, you have walked across the threshold into my classroom. You are welcome to this space. I am the Renaissance man, educator, actor, singer, writer, R&B junkie with the charm of a Southern gentleman, and words of wisdom as my grandmama, my mama, and my teachers taught me. I invite you to follow my IG pages at Southern_Gentleman14 and Crescent Media Productions LLC, where you will find more content and get notifications about new episodes and more. You can also follow me on Twitter at Dr. F.D. Davis. No matter what platform you've used to tune in and enter this class, I thank you, and I'm glad you're here. And hey, I want to hear from you. I want you to have some voice regarding the content that I cover. So, what do you want to hear? Is there anything you would like for me to discuss? If so, send me your thoughts. How can you do that? Send an email to Crescent Media Productions LLC at gmail.com. So, let me know what you think.
Are you serious? That really happened? It's not enough to be awake. It's the awakening.
For this episode, I, nor Crescent Media Productions, nor any subsidiary of Crescent Media Productions condone or support bullying or violence of any nature. Okay, here we go. Sunday night, March 27th, 2022. Now, you already know what I'm talking about. A night of gowns and frowns, tuxedos, heroes and sheroes, and a little gold statue that everybody is wishing for. Yep, you guessed it. I'm talking about the Oscars. Now, while this was a night that many people believed to be sprinkled with a little more diversity than in previous years, especially with hosts Wanda Sykes and Regina Hall and producer Will Packer, around the world there was an event that caused an eclipse. The event that took place at the Oscars is what the LA Times coined as the slap heard around the world. We all know what I'm talking about. It was the contact that was given by actor and lead actor Oscar winner Will Smith and received by comedian Chris Rock, which set social media ablaze. Now, my purpose for this episode is not to give a play-by-play or blow-by-blow. No pun intended. It is also not meant to reveal a side on the matter of whether I stand on behalf of Will Smith or in support of Chris Rock. But immediately after collecting myself and trying to determine if what I saw was real, because I was honestly shook by what I saw, when I realized that it was in fact real, I immediately went into this mode of trying to understand what happened and why it happened. There have been a lot of memes, a lot of jokes, different perspectives that have been shared openly. There have been debates and there have been arguments, and it's all because of this situation. The thing that I think about is that this is an absolute real situation. This is a real thing. And the sad part is that people are making a mockery of it. They're really, treating it like it's a joke. And it's not a joke. This is a real situation that many people, most specifically men of color, we find ourselves in the middle of this thing when we are faced with scenarios that are disrespectful, not only to ourselves, but to our loved ones. And we end up making a choice of whether to just grin and bear it or to cry out in word or cry out in deed. We face the decision of whether I will be able to live with myself. Will I be able to look at myself in the mirror or just be able to look inwardly when I'm alone and left with my thoughts? When I play this situation back in my mind over and over again, will I allow myself to be quiet? Will I quiet myself as everyone looks at me to see my reaction, which no matter which way I respond to it, it will be looked upon as a negative thing. Do I cry out? Do I say something? You know, do I reach out with force out of retaliation for the way that you have made me feel or the way that you've made my loved ones feel? Now, here's my perspective. Men are taught that we must protect and provide. We have to protect, our significant others. We have to protect our children. We have to protect our mothers, our elderly. We have to protect and we have to provide. It was shared with, the men in my family in word. Even when it was not done proficiently in action, it was still said. Friends that I talk to, when we discuss our rearing, it's been said, the same thing has been said to them. Now, just to protect and to provide, I think that that's a short-sighted list. I think it's a short-sighted list of actions of manhood. And even though there are many who fall short in just those two actions, I agree that those two actions should most definitely take place among other actions, and listing those actions is an episode in itself. I believe that the way we protect and provide should be performed in a way that does not bring reproach on yourself and your loved ones. And it does not jeopardize your freedom. It does not contradict a high moral code that you may have adopted or cause harm to self or to others. In the world we live in, this is a hard code to live by, especially when there are so many people who are just outright mean and hateful and will say and do anything to one-up you. Everyone has to one-up you, whether it's in person, on social media. It's just all about trying to check you. And even when you try your hardest to consistently live by that code and function in a society where, especially as a black man, you have to darn near be perfect to even be invited in a space to make advances, to reach goals and gain opportunities when you have the world just chomping at your bits all of the time. And you have people who challenge your relevance, who challenge your ability, and who actually challenge your essence as a human being. You are susceptible to failing at some point. Let's just be real about it. Everyone is one decision away from doing just that, falling. Unfortunately, everyone ain't rooting for you. It is a battle to get on top, and the battle continues in order for you to stay on top. Now, Will Smith is one of the actors that many people look to as a model. The thing is, in his acceptance speech, he conveyed words that Denzel Washington shared with him. And those words were, "At your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you." And it's something how that actually happened. It showed itself for so many people around the world to see. I can understand the feeling of that fire just taking over you and it taking hold of you. It's sitting you in the back seat, especially when it comes to you protecting the people you love. Now, I did not want to say that I condone it, but I did say that I can understand it. Because when it comes to mine, I'm a protector. I'm a provider. I'm a nurturer, and I'm so many other things. And I actually go on high alert when they are threatened or in need. And it's in those moments I try my absolute best to live by the words that I tell those who look to me by addressing my issue and protecting my people. And I hope that I can do it in a way where I do not jeopardize everything that I have accomplished and everything that I've worked for. Because there are people who are depending on me. And I know this. I am a chosen one. But the thing that I know is that people will slap a stain on you quickly. And the elevation is slow, but the castaway is quick and it's ruthless. It is my hope that we look at this moment and we allow it to serve as a vehicle for our own reflection. That we take into account where we should do our own personal work, where we identify our triggers and try to strengthen those areas so that they are not so easily tripped when we are in a heated situation. Because at the end of the day, no one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes or commits wrongdoings. But one of the differences was your low point was not advertised live on television for the world to see when you were tested. But I think that there's something that I just can't let go of, and that is that even in situations like that, everyone is still deserving of grace because we don't know what's in their luggage. We don't know what it is that they walked in the room with. And I think that there should be some time that is devoted to understanding that. The thing is, the conversations are still happening. They're still happening everywhere. I just left the barbershop and it was a topic. It was a topic, and some of the things that were said irritated me, but it's still a topic. I remember one of my teachers used to say that an opinion is like an a-hole. Everybody has one. So with that, you can be on the sideline and you could be a sideline dictator or a passenger seat driver. But when the test comes your way, what will you do? Now, I believe that the family deserves to be protected, but you have many options to choose from that would not yield devastating results to you because there's still cover that the family needs. There is still support that the family needs, and you are the person who has been crowned to do that. If you find that you are unable to control it, I suggest that you begin doing some work to address it, because the reality is that there are other battles that are going to come. There are other battles that have to be fought. You have to make sure that you are present to fight those too. Don't allow yourself to be taken out of the equation, because at the end of the day, you're still needed and you still need to be an example. You still are assigned the task to lead, to cover, to protect, to provide, to be emotionally available, to be present, and then some. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say It Louder, the podcast. This podcast is located on many platforms for your listening pleasure. Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Audible. Be sure to listen to the other episodes that have been recorded previously, and please subscribe and share with friends and loved ones. Heck, share it with the people you don't like too, so that they can get better. Don't forget to share some of your ideas with me by sending an email to crescentmediaproductionsllc@gmail.com. Until next time, especially in these times of COVID-19 and the various variants that are present, be safe, mask up, take care of yourself, be kind to one another, do your best to take care of one another.